Tour junkies.
What is going on, golf addicts? DB here. I'm about to bring in my boy Pat Perry. It is the LIV Australia. What is going on, golf addicts?
What's
DB
happening?
here. I'm about to bring in my boy. Oh, sorry. Tony's not here. I don't know what's going on. Let me bring in my boy Pat to talk about LIV Adelaide, the Zurich Classic, and some weird NFL draft prop bets. Here we go. Pat to the stage. He didn't want to reveal to me.
What's up, DB? What's up, bro? Ready to talk some LIV golf, LIV golfing, LIV player golf, LIV team golf, living golf. Are you ready?
What is actually happening right now? I don't understand.
Let's talk some LIV.
Who are you supposed to be?
A LIV fan. I'm a LIV person. What are you talking about? I'm a LIV person.
I'm a LIV person? That's what a LIV person looks like?
Yeah, man.
Y'all, before we started the show, Pat comes on. He's got no video. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with your video? He's like, don't worry about it. I got this. He goes, I got something planned. So I'm seeing this live at the same time you guys are.
Let's get on with the LIV golfing.
Are you a Chainsmokers fan, Pat? Mr. LIV fan?
Teams. LIV teams. Yeah.
Well, who's your favorite team?
We're gonna decide that tonight.
All right. Well, okay. So to add to your act, Pat, I actually have a challenge for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I've done this before.
I'm not gonna talk like this all night, but I'm gonna do it for the first part of the show.
I've done
LIV golf has a deeper voice. Live louder, live deeper.
Okay. If you'll check your Discord DMs, I have sent you a DM with a selection of let's see, 3, 4. There's 8.
Wait a second.
There's 8 Australian.
Hang on. Let me see if I can. Oh, you can't do that. Hang on.
There you go. Yeah, check that out.
That works.
But you might need to reference it throughout the show. You're gonna have to reference it throughout the show. There are in that DM, there are 8 Aussie slang words or phrases that I think you should try to have to work in at some point during the show. You don't have to work in all of them, but I would like for you to work in 4 of them at minimum. If you could work in all 8, that would be unreal. But if you could just get 4 of them in, I think that would be pretty cool. And you're just guessing at what they mean. And as you work them in, I'll try to tell you what they mean, and we'll see how you did.
Oh, I got these, especially second from last and third, and actually the last one I got them.
Say okay, all right.
Let me get comfortable though. Let me get out of my.
Welcome to your first LIV Golf preview show, by the way. Your very first LIV Golf betting show. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You do look, honestly, you look a lot cooler. I will say that. Like,
thank you. But I'm gonna split the hat around because I need to show something. I got a new Swannies hat.
Oh, got that new Swannies drip, huh? Yeah. Dude, I swear for a second, I thought you were about to show me like a 4 Aces hat, and I was gonna.
Oh no, I haven't decided on my team yet. So I thought about it. I did think
that would have been though.
Yeah.
Listen, this is a serious LIV show, man. I'm a LIV fan, so I need you to respect it.
Listen, I respect it. I'm ready to give some good picks. I may or may not keep my sunglasses on. I don't know. Depends on how my eyes are doing. But I'm glad to be on here, actually, DB. I'm excited to talk a little LIV. Maybe give my.
Oh my God, Gump's on here from Hammer Dine. He's calling us the Junkyard Dogs, which I mean, I don't appreciate Gump, but I appreciate Gump popping in, saying something nice.
I mean, we kind of grew up Junkyard Dogs, Bulldogs.
We did.
That's what they called us.
Listen, this is a big show for me, man, because I've always said this, and I think our Aussie brethren deep down know this, but like, I feel like I think I've not done the 23andMe, but I think I am. I think there's a part of me that's Australian. I really relate to the Aussies. I think the Aussies relate to us. I think that we don't have a huge Aussie listenership, but shout out to Caridi and Aussie DB in the Discord. Aussie DB and Caridi, like shout out. Appreciate those boys. But I think of the contingent of Aussie fans that we have, I mean, if you're an Aussie and you give this show a chance, you will like 98% like us. I think there's something about Southern Americans, Southeastern Americans, especially Georgia boys, especially that just relate to Aussies. And I feel a connection. So this is kind of like, this is a big deal for me. Like I feel it in my plums and down under, I feel it down under.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to be a little bit of an Aussie guy. And I think Aussies are cool. I've never been. I want to go. It's so fucking far,
You feel it in your whacker?
No, mate. No, mate. That's it.
You said down under. You said down under. I didn't know you.
Yeah,
you
but
said,
so Pat's trying to work in his first word here, his first Aussie word. What was the word?
Whacker.
Yeah, but see, Pat. I'm not going to give you a basic American slang word and let you just say it like it's Australian. Like it doesn't mean the same thing. So you've already misused you're 0 for 1. Whacker or wacka. Wacka means idiot. According to
okay. All right. Okay.
He's a whacker. Not so like I think the Brits go wanker. It would a bloody wanker, but Aussies go, oh, he's a fucking whacker. Right? So he's an idiot.
All right. 0 for 1.
You're 0 for 1. But I appreciate you trying it out on the first few minutes. I'm just excited because I love the Aussies and I'm pumped about LIV Adelaide. I think LIV Adelaide's going to be lit. It starts at 9:45 p.m. Eastern here in the U.S. on Thursday night. So get your bets in, get your DFS lineups, whatever you're doing, lock it in by 9:45 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. We're going to be able to have a little nightcap golf, Tuck the misses in the bed, mate. If you're in Georgia, tuck the misses in the bed on 9:45 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Pop a gum, mate, get you a liquor drink and watch the golf, live golf, It's easy, mate. Right?
Foster's.
Oh, shit. Now we just lost all credibility. You can't say Foster's.
Damn it. All right.
Bro, Foster's?
What's the beer? What's the
I want to kick you off the stream right now.
Is Foster? No, you can't kick me off. Is Foster's like
he knows that Foster's is trash, mate. It's trash.
I know. I just had to say it to see how you would react.
All right. Well, let's try to win some Aussies over this week. Let's win them over. Okay. And you have work to do after that. That's a bad start. I will say that.
Okay. What is the beer of choice?
I don't know, but it's not Foster's. It's not. It's not.
I know. I don't think it is either. It'd be like us, I don't know. We got all kinds of crap beers anyway around here.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat. All right, we don't have producer Tony with us tonight. But shout out Tony, he's trying to set us up. Listen, but we do have our friends at Bet the Number. Shout out Bet the Number. Producer Tony's not here, but Bet the Number's still here. Bet the Number's got some Zurich data for you if you want it. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but they got a little bit of Zurich data. LIV data is coming. Okay. Go to Bet the Number. In fact, if you're in the motherland of Australia, you can sign up for Bet the Number. We will take your Australian dollars. Okay. And promo code TJ gets you $5 off the monthly or $50 off the annual subscription, but it's priced in US dollars. So if you got Australian dollars, you get it. It's already discounted pretty much. So you're good to go. And then if you're in our Discord, if you're a paying member in our Discord, you can DM myself or Pat and get yourself a real nice discount on with our friends at Bet the Number, the best golf data and analytics website out there. If you're a handicapper, if you're playing DFS, if you're props, if you're betting on golf in any capacity, Bet the Number is the must-use tool. BetTheNumberGolf.com. Link is in the description. Check it out. LIV Adelaide. So we're going to get to LIV. We're going to do Zurich. We're going to talk about the NFL draft. Some props on the NFL draft. And just basic shenaniganizing. Pat, really. Let's talk LIV. Let's talk about some things to know about Adelaide, the Grange Golf Club. Pretty basic stuff. 54 players, 13 teams, 2 wild cards. Pat, for 500 points, can you name the 2 wild cards?
Anthony Kim, and I'm actually going to go with Hudson Swafford.
You did it.
Yes.
I feel like you cheated, but you did it. Also,
I did not cheat. I swear I did not cheat, but I just knew those were the two that I could remember that were not on teams.
There we go. All right, good job. Round 1, round 2, like I said, started at 9:45 p.m. Eastern on Thursday and Friday night here in the Lord's time zone in Georgia. We saw this golf course last year. It is in this, it's Sand Belt Australian golf course land, which is awesome, right? I just love it. Firm and fast. Might get a little windy, although the weather looks pretty mild this week. It's pretty mild. Looks like it's not going to be much of a factor. But we do have some boots on the ground. Talked to a couple caddies, talked to a couple people on site. Said it's already firm, gonna be fast. Got some more insights on the golf course for you. It's a par 72. It's just under 7,000 yards. It's short. It's pretty short. Last year, Taylor Gooch took it down. Actually shot 10 under round 1 and 10 under round 2. And then shot, I think, 1 over round 3 as he coasted to still a big victory. I think he beat Lahiri by 3 strokes despite shooting a 1 over in round 3. He had built up quite the lead last year. So, Adelaide was lit. The Aussie fans responded well. Great to see pro golf in Australia. But Taylor Gooch kind of lulled us all to sleep in terms of the leaderboard last year. I expect to see that a lot tighter this year with better players on LIV. But Taylor Gooch did the thing at 19 under last year. 4 aces won the thing last year, by the way, Pat. Your team. This is
I don't know yet if that's my team. I'm leaning that direction, though.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was young,
you're also still trying to figure out what teams there are out there and who's on.
Well, when I was young, I always wanted to be 4 aces. Always wanted to be 4 aces. But I just, sometimes you like you may grow up an Auburn Tiger fan, but then you went to Georgia and you become a Georgia fan. So I don't know that, if I go to a LIV event, I may decide that I want to be a Cleeks fan.
No, nobody wants to be a Cleeks fan. Okay. Literally nobody. But also, are you willing to commit now on camera that you're going to a LIV event in the summer?
Yes, I will commit to a LIV event this summer.
Okay, so we're going to LIV Nashville. We will be there. I'm excited about that, Pat. I just put you on the spot right there. I mean, you could have said no, I'm not ready to commit, but you did. We will be at LIV Nashville, so hope you guys are there. So there are 10. I want to talk a little bit about this golf course. There are 10 par 4s. 10. There are 4 par 3s and 4 par 5s. So that is all of the par 4s if you do the math. Okay. We're a sharp show. If you do the math, all the par 4s. If you are in the fairway and you are playing professional golf with a pulse on LIV, even if you hit it like 265, well, maybe not that, but if you hit it like 280, you will have 125 yards or less into every green, every single green. This is a short course. It's a wedge contest on these par 4s. Okay. Tons of wedges, 9 irons. That's it. That's a max. These par 3s, there is one par 3 over 200 yards. The rest of them are wedges. Pitching wedge, 9 iron at the most, unless we get some serious wind. Short holes, okay? More on that later because I have a prop that I think is an absolute lock, Pat. Actually, I have 2 props that are locks. One is a LIV prop, one is an NFL prop. And then the 4 par 5s. Pat, 2 of the par 5s are less than 500 yards. And the longest par 5 is 512 yards. This is a really short golf course.
This feels like a dinkum course. It's a dinkum.
That would be word number 2. So the whole time I was talking right there, Pat was trying to figure out how he could work in one of those words. That would be word number 2, which is dinkum. What do you think it means, Pat?
Dinkum, like dinkum and dunkum. Dinkum.
See, again, you're being too American literal. You're taking what the American thing is, which is dink and dunk. like a dink-a-dunk, like a teeny tiny bink bong.
Yeah.
You know, you're
Like
doing
just a small course. It's a short
But
course.
that's not what it means. That's not what it means. You got to think outside the box, Pat. Dinkum means true, real, or genuine.
I don't know how I would have gotten that.
I don't know how you're going to get any of these, but this is the fun in trying. But quit thinking so literal.
All right. Well, now it's going to get a little bit crazier. All right.
We got some word from our caddy friends. This is what I got today. 2 caddies on the course. I'm going to summarize. Really tight lies when you miss the greens. Not thick, rough, Augusta National, tight grass when you miss the greens. You got to be able to chip it pure when you miss greens. Firm and fast like last year. Conditions similar to last year. There are some tight holes off the tee that really reward driver if you can hit it straight. But it sounds like, even though these holes are short, it doesn't sound like it's like full send driver. Because, I mean, you know, I just said you're going to have wedges in on all these par 4s, but that's if you're hitting driver and you're not clubbing down. So I think your really accurate drivers of the ball are going to be able to pull driver and maybe even be further down the fairway than guys who spray it and might have to lay back with an iron. But there are some tight holes. You don't have to be long at all. You just need to be straight off the tee and you will have tons of birdie looks. It is a super short course, tons of par 4s. Yeah, so it looks like scoring is locked in just like it was last year with similar conditions. Like I said, Gooch going 19 under through 3 rounds, 10 under in the first 2. So that is a little bit about LIV Adelaide, the Grange Golf Club, the host site. Pat, anything to add there before we get into the picks?
No, I think that even if you're not a huge LIV fan and you're not able to, well, let's just put it this way. I think what you just said gives us a good course fit, a good player that fits this course, or several that can win here. And I think even if you're not looking at all the stats that we typically look at for, you know, the normal golf tournaments and all that kind of stuff, you can already start to formulate some opinions on who you want to play based off of what you just said.
Now, Pat, do you know, could you tell the people how I've done? Do you know how I've done this year in LIV betting?
Yes. I think you're up 82 units.
Very nice, Pat. Did you do research here today?
No, but that was actually a complete guess, but I knew it was up there.
I mean, I am literally on LIV. I am literally up 82 units. I've hit I've hit 3 of 5 winners, both Joaquin Niemann's and the Dean Burmester in Miami, 30-1. I am equally down, I believe, 83 units on PGA Tour outright betting.
Well, I mean, you're even.
Yeah, which I think, I'll say that. I'm gonna say that.
Better than me.
Doing pretty good. So anyway, I'm excited about this. I like what we're looking at. But I will say, Pat, as I was looking at the card, as I was formulating the card, I don't have a lot of long shots. Like, and like the LIV long shot is different than the PGA Tour long shot, obviously.
I've noticed that.
Yeah,
I have noticed that.
Only 54 players. A lot of these guys, I think, suck and aren't going to win. But I do, despite my card, I think the books are sharper right now. Despite my card, I actually think this is an event where we could see a long shot, despite what I'm about to tell you are my favorite bets. Because of the high scoring, I think we're going to have, if the wind kicked up, it might get different. But the high scoring and the fact that literally anybody could win this thing without, like, you don't have to be the bomber. You don't have to have that skill set. Miami, you had to be a bomber. Dean Burmester is a bomber. You know, you don't have to have that here. This is going to really even the playing field to some extent. So I think it's going to open it up. So I do want to point that out. Now, I do have some bombs in the placement market. We're going to talk some of our favorite placement bets here in just a second. But let's get to the outrights first. As we look at the top of the board, Pat, and I'm going to try to do some line shopping for the people here. We've got, you know, U.S. books like DraftKings, FanDuel, but then we've got some offshore stuff like Bet Online if you're not able to access some of those. But it seems like the consensus favorite among at least the U.S.-based books is Jon Rahm. He's around 7-1 plus 750 on DraftKings. Bryson DeChambeau and Joaquin Niemann, I would say kind of co-favorites. Some of the books are divided on those two. Those are your top 3 guys. Any interest, Pat? You haven't got to bet any of these 3 guys. I guess at the Masters you did bet Bryson, but you've only had a chance to take a swing at these 3. What are your thoughts on these 3?
I actually don't have either of them on my first potential bet. To me, I think you could say that maybe the best fit is potentially Neiman. But I don't know if Bryson's distance, even though this is a short course, or Rahm and his play are necessarily going to be the best fits here. I've kind of got this player in mind that's sort of great off the tee, meaning hitting fairways, good in greens and regulation, good on approach, good scrambler, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the profile that I'm looking at here. And, so I think I'm just going to avoid all 3 and then go to my next favorites.
I will do the same because, I'm not some sook, I'm not going to bet a favorite, but I do think the Jon Rahm win seems due. He's, this year he's finished 3rd, 8th, 5th, 8th, and 4th in his 5 live events.
He's got a team win.
He's got a couple team wins.
Don't worry about these. Don't forget the team wins.
Yeah. Yes, the team is doing well. Legion 13 is doing well. Who else is on his team, Pat?
Caleb Surratt.
What are you looking at? There's no way you pulled that first.
I'm looking at my bets because I know Caleb Surratt is on his team.
Okay.
And I know that Terrell Hatton is on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure it's not Scott Vincent. It's not Scott Vincent, is it?
Don't cheat. No.
I don't know who the other one is on his team. I know Surratt, and I know they're like rookies. They're 2 rookies. It's like they had to fit them into the team because Rahm needed it.
It's Kieran Vincent.
Okay, well, so it's a Vincent. I was. That's what I meant.
I mean, you're an identical twin, Pat. If somebody said, "Oh, it's Chris Perry," you wouldn't be like, "Oh, well, that counts because it's a Perry."
I don't know, but yeah.
All right. I think the Rahm win is due. He's more accurate off the tee than Neiman, which is going to help him maybe pull driver more so than Neiman. The scrambling is actually better this year statistically than Neiman, although Neiman is a great scrambler. We know that from his PGA Tour days as well. He's number 1 in birdie average. And although I know he famously cussed out the Amex a couple years back about being a birdie putting contest, he did win it. So it's not like Jon Rahm can't win a birdie contest. So plus 750, I don't think that's a bad bet. And obviously we're all, scarred over here betting the PGA Tour every week and Scotty Scheffler doing his thing. I feel like the Rahm win has got to be coming soon. But that being said, I'm out. I'm not doing it. Who is your first bet on the board, Pat? Who's your guy?
Cam Smith, baby. Cam Smith.
What a freaking just.
I don't care. 11-1
pick. That is just so basic. I'm out. I'm out on Cam Smith. Totally out.
How would you be out on Cam Smith?
Because
good finish at the Masters. What did he finish here last year at this tournament? Like 2nd or 3rd or something?
Cam Smith finished T3 last year. Yes. 4 shots off the lead.
I think Cam Smith is a great bet at 11-1.
I'm thinking about his post-round press conference last year after the final round when he talked about how exhausted he was that in the week and all the extra commitments he had because he was the Aussie son, everybody was demanding all these things of him and all the crap he had to do because he's the Aussie guy and he was exhausted. And I think it took a toll on him. And I think he's going to get more of the same this year. And if it were really windy and brutal out there, then I think that elevates Cam Smith. The wedge competition certainly gives an edge to Cam Smith. But I do see him clubbing down a lot out here because he's going to have to find the fairway, which we know he's not great at doing with the driver, that's for sure. So I think he's going to be somewhat neutralized off the tee, if anything. You know, and I mean, it's, you know, I think I'm out. I honestly, and this may, you know, I said I want this to be a show where our Aussie brethren fall in love with us, and this may not help, but I don't have any Aussies on the outright card this week. I think
I don't know how you can't.
Adelaide
can't
puts
do that.
too much on these guys. It puts too much on these guys. Like if the people of Australia want freaking Matt Jones, Mark Leishman, you know, Cam Smith, or Lucas Herbert or whatever. Can't remember the fourth one. If they want these guys to win this thing, they got to let them. Like they got to leave them alone. You know what I mean? Like
Maybe they will this year. Maybe this year will be different. Maybe last year because it was kind of new and
I'm already
everything.
seeing stuff on social media. They can't do it. They literally can't do it. They should put these guys in the Grange Golf Club version of the Crow's Nest at Augusta National. Let them have a sleepover in an enclosed area that nobody has access to for the days leading up to the event, and just unleash them on the first tee and let them cook. And then you got it. I'm out. My first pick is the LIV Golf Player of the Year last year, the defending champion, Mr. Talor Gooch, at 14-1. The Gooch is loose starting this week. Hasn't won yet on LIV this year. Does have a runner-up. I got a T6 and a T9 in his last event. Absolutely dominated this place last year. He is top 7 on LIV this season in fairways, scrambling, putting, and birdie average. You know, I think the Gooch win is incoming as well. 14-1 feels like a great value. So I'm going Gooch at the top of the card at 14-1.
I mean, look, it's hard to argue with Taylor Gooch. I mean, I think we even had a show earlier this year where we talked about top 10 in the world, and I think I may have put him in there.
Yeah, you did.
So I don't mind Taylor. I mean, 14-1 feels pretty good. I can't really argue with you too much with Taylor. He could easily go back to back here. In my mind, actually, I was kind of surprised you didn't go Terrell Hatton. I think Terrell Hatton also at 12-1 makes a little bit of sense too. I mean, look, you have to kind of get your mindset around LIV Golf too, and like there's a lot of guys up here that we can bet. We're not. It's not like the tour where everything's kind of spread out a little bit more. I mean, here you've got a lot more guys up top that you can bet, and I think Terrell Hatton is one of them at 12-1.
The thing about Hatton is he going to embrace, you know, Adelaide, right? This lit. Is he going to embrace that? Because,
well, I mean, he needs to. I mean, isn't that what this is about? Moving to LIV, being able to embrace this kind of stuff.
Well,
why would you move to LIV if you can't embrace some change and some different ways of doing things?
$100 million, maybe. I don't know. Well, I think it's one thing to embrace LIV as it more like regularly is, but Adelaide is the event. It is the most wild.
It's like the WM Open, right?
It's the WM Open, which he's only played twice in his career, 2019 and 2023. 2023 last year, it was an elevated event. He basically had to play it. 2019, he played it for the first time. He still played well, but I mean, he didn't come back until it was elevated. Probably was like, oh, fuck off, you know. So I just wonder if he's gonna enjoy the watering hole, the par 3 12th. If he's gonna enjoy the wild Aussie crowds hungry for golf. He may lean into it. He may not. I mean, certainly had a good Masters. Finally had a good Masters finish, T9. He's had some good finishes, T8, T4 so far this LIV season. I looked at him. I gave him a peek. So is that your next guy, or are you just saying you're surprised
No, that was my next guy.
Okay. My next guy, I'm getting into the 20s. And actually, the rest of my picks are in here. I haven't bet this guy yet this year. He's come close, and he's doing great in some key categories. He is 9th off the tee in fairways hit, 1st in scrambling, 2nd in putting average, and 4th in birdie average. He is that smooth, sweet swinging Louis Oosthuizen at 22-1. His South African brother, Dean Burmester, took down Miami. He finished 7th in Miami. Has a runner-up this year, like I mentioned. So I'm going Louis Oosthuizen in 22-1. I love the total driving ability and the scrambling ability with Louis. I think that should bode well here.
I don't mind Louis. Now, I did not have Louis written down. He was close. He was close to making it on my card, but I don't have him. But I think he is a good play. So I'm kind of with you there.
All right, fire your next one. So far, none of the same picks, huh?
We don't have any of the same picks. What is going on here?
I don't know.
And but I mean, you've been doing this for a while, so obviously you've got the edge on me with some of these. But
yeah,
I mean, do
you think this is a dinkum contest for us to be comparing our picks?
What was the definition of dinkum again?
Fair or real or genuine?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
All right. I was trying to work in there one there, and I couldn't figure out which one to do.
I know. I saw it working.
Oh, gala.
Looking around the room and saying Australian words at things.
Gala. I'll go with
no, that doesn't count. That does not count.
What? No, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I like Patrick Reed, 25-1.
Same. Love Patrick Reed.
I cannot come on this show for the first time and not take Patrick Reed. I just
Praise
can't.
God, baby. Praise God.
Love Patrick Reed here. He seems to like Australia too. You remember when they were in Australia for the President's Cup and there was all that drama with him and his caddy and everything?
Yes, finished 3rd here last year. Loves a firm, fast golf course. Great
scrambler
player. T12 at Augusta, T9 in LIV Miami. Didn't have a great start to the year. First 4 LIV events, I would say kind of benign. Like I said, T9 in Miami, T12 at Augusta. Loves him some Adelaide. I'm all in on that. I think the best I see on him is around 28-1. Is that what you have?
I saw 25-1, but yeah, I'll take 28-1 for sure.
Total agreement there on Reed finally. There it is. Okay. My next one. By the way, I see some folks in the chat. We will get to the chat. Yes, we'll get to the chat. Keep dropping in your questions live. Thanks for watching live. If you are, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you've not already. Comment on the video. We would appreciate it. And also check out our friends at Swannies, okay? Because Pat's got that sick hat he's rocking right there. That's a beautiful hat. Swannies, the clothing spot for the tour junkies. Code TJ25 gets you 25% off. Now, I will say they do not ship to Australia. And I'm sorry to say that. We don't make the rules, but they don't. They don't ship to Australia, US and Canada. TJ25 for 25% off your entire order. Not just not just special stuff. Entire order. They got stuff for men's, women's. They got stuff for men's, women's, some children, juniors. If you got a juniors or a women's in your life, they got it. Polos, joggers, shorts, accessories, hats. Beautiful stuff there at Swannies. Lovely company. TJ25, 25% off. My next bet. I never bet this guy. Pat, if you remember when he was on the PGA Tour, I faded him on the reg. On the reg. Never thought he could get it done. Okay. He is now a LIV golf champion. He has won on LIV before. But he's having a good year. He's first in fairways, 11th in greens and reg, 11th in putting average, 5th in birdie average. Only weakness is really that around the green play, but I think without a lot of wind, just hit the fairway, hit your wedges in, you'll be fine. Mr. Abraham Answer at 25-1 is my next pick. Local caddy on the bag, Mr. Benji Thompson. I say local to Augusta. Local caddy Benji Thompson. Love that dude too. I just realized I forgot something, Pat. Did you know that last year's LIV Adelaide champion Taylor Gooch, his caddy, is Australian? And he cited how important it was that his caddy helped him last year navigate the Australian sandbelt courses and the grass and all that stuff. Still on the bag, I confirmed today. Great thing for Taylor Gooch. But I'm going Louis. Sorry, not Louis. Abe Answer at 25-1. It's my next pick.
Okay.
I got 2 more and then I'm out.
All right, I have a couple more too. I like Paul Casey, DB. I thought maybe you might
That's
go to
another one.
Paul. Yeah, I
That's
thought you were going to go to Paul Casey. Look, he's up there, I think, in the top 3 in scrambling, also in greens and regulation.
Yep.
Paul
6th in
Casey,
fairways, 9th in birdie average.
yes, and he come close to winning this year?
Yes. He finished runner up in Hong Kong, I believe. Also
Yeah.
5th in Vegas, 11th in Mayakoba, 14th in Miami. He, had his closest shot there in Hong Kong, and actually I think he was up there. He wasn't in Miami because I remember I faded him in Miami. It must have been Hong Kong. It was only
I
Hong
feel
Kong.
like when I'm just kind of looking at some of these players and these events, like Hong Kong. Did you do a show for that one?
No.
Okay, I was one. It just felt like a similar, not a similar, like a little bit of a course comparison there. It seemed like a lot of guys that did well at Hong Kong could do well on this course.
Now he didn't play well here last year. He finished 39th here
Yeah,
last year. I will say that.
but I do like Paul Casey.
But
28 to 1.
he's hitting it well this year. And I feel like Casey, everybody was all over him for Miami. And he got shortened and it was not a good, but 20, I think he was at 28 to 1 too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, total agreement there. Yeah, he's at 28 to 1 on MGM and Bet Online, as far as I can see.
Okay.
I have one more now that you've taken Casey. And it's a guy who I'm very thankful for this year because he's been in a playoff twice and he's lost both times to the guy that I had outright. It's Mr. Sergio Garcia, also at 28 to 1 on DraftKings. Actually, now Bet Online has him at 30 to 1 if you want to do the offshore thing. Sergio's had a good year. Like I said, runner-up in Mayakoba, runner-up in Miami. 8th off the tee in terms of fairways hit, 6th in greens and regs, 6th in scrambling, and 6th in birdie average. We know that Sergio struggles with chipping. The putting is actually, the putting. I'm sorry, not chipping. He's good at chipping. His putting is terrible. So that worries me a little bit with the high scoring potential putting contests. But at 30 to 1, 28 to 1, as good as he's playing, I know he missed a cut. The Masters don't care. Finished 11th here last year. I think Sergio is my last pick.
Okay. I like Sergio. DB.
Mm-hmm.
It's Na time, baby. It's Kevin Na time.
It's
Kevin Na, 65 to 1. Top 10 here last year. Top 10 at Hong Kong recently. He's 3rd in this field in scrambling. Top 10 in driving accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Na can win this golf tournament.
He can, actually. I mean, remember how many times he's won on PGA Tour? Like, he's kind of a killer when he's in it.
When he's in it. I think he can get in it. So he's my long shot play.
Interesting. All right, let's get to some placement bets for LIV before we do, and some prop bets. Before we do, let's take a few questions from the chat. We've got a handful of people asking questions here. What about Leishman and Wolf? Well, I've already said I'm out on the Aussies. Like, Leishman to me is a guy who, when he came to LIV, boy, I don't know what he's doing, but he's sucked. He's really sucked. I mean, he really has.
Yeah.
So I'm just concerned about his overall performance. Wolf, I will say Wolf I was kind of close to. I could get down with Wolf on a placement bet. He's actually been better. I mean, he is 13th through 5 events in fairways. 15th in scrambling, 9th in putting. Not bad for Matt Wolf. So if I were going to pick between those two, I would rather have Wolf. Another question. Let's see. Talk to me. Okay, Cam. Okay, well, he really want to know about Leishman and Wolf. Loves the home field advantage. Shout out to American Wasp with Dieter McBusiness. That is the longest name. I can't even believe that. Okay. We already talked about Terrell Hatton. Okay, now we're done with the questions because now there's no more questions. That's why we're done. We're not going to answer the rest of those questions. Do you have any placement bets, Pat? So maybe obviously some guys maybe other than your outrights.
Okay. Then yes, I will tell you 2 placement bets.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you may have already mentioned one of these, but I actually liked Usti at plus 170 for a top 10. I think you mentioned him as an outright.
I did.
So I like that one. I think I would also go with, I don't know. This is a gut play. Richard Bland at plus 210.
Okay, I looked at Blandy. Is it like you've got Reed and Casey?
Hang on. Sorry.
Okay.
Maybe I'm allergic to that pick.
I think you are.
Maybe I'll go with another one.
You've got Reed and Casey, two guys who you and I agreed on at 2-1. Just a little.
Well, you said I couldn't go with one that I actually had Casey at plus 180, but you said I couldn't go with one as I took as an outright. So that's why.
No. Oh, sorry. Well, I was just saying maybe is one, but I mean, I think Reed and Casey at 2-1 are great values.
Yeah.
The best plus number. I was looking for the best plus number lock. To me, Gooch as a top 10 at plus 110 on Bet Online seems pretty nice. But I do have a couple bombs. And actually, Pat, Nah was in the running. I have Nah written down at plus 350 as a top 10. But two more. I'm going to go with a little Sebastian Munoz. Top 10, plus 375. Munoz, 9th in fairways, 16th in greens and reg, 20th in putting, second in the field in birdie average. He's scoring. He's hitting fairways. The irons are okay. Sebastian Munoz won on the PGA Tour. He could do it. Plus 375 as a top 10. And then I'm just going to pass this on because I've now had two different people that are on site at LIV Australia right now. Two different people text me a sleeper pick. And this sleeper pick is 12-1. Not outright. Not top 5. But top 10. 12-1 to finish top 10. Pat Perez is the sleeper pick that two different people, unrelated, well, somewhat related, they're both at LIV Australia, have texted me. Isn't that weird?
Well, he did finish in the top 10 last year. He had one of his better moments on LIV, when his team won, I believe it was Adelaide. And one thing, if that hits and if he plays well, and they're going to do this all around him tall pappies, they're going to be tall pappies everywhere. Tall pappies just blowing up into the sky.
Wait, tall pappies? Boy, put your reading glasses on. Tall poppies.
Tall poppies. There's going to be tall poppies popping everywhere when Pat Perez finishes in the top 10 or his team wins, just like they did last year.
That's number 3. That's the third Australian slang word Pat has worked in. Pat, what do you think tall poppies? Quite the tall poppies there, mate. What do you think that means? Look at all those tall poppies. Crikey, look at the tall poppies over there.
Just, like big beers. tall poppies.
You're going so literal. No, tall poppies means successful people. You got to quit going literal.
I know, but their slang is crazy. I mean, they're not even at least our slang is close.
What? All right. So there's the. I got two. I got two props. Do you have any props for LIV?
No.
Okay. The first one, I think top Spaniard Garcia is a look. Even though I do think, like I said, I think that obviously Jon Rahm is due. I mean, he is. He's very due. But you can do top Spaniard at least on Bet Online. And you've got Rahm, David Puig, and Eugenio Chacarra. I mean, Puig and Chacarra have sucked all year. They're basically nothing. So this is a head-to-head Jon Rahm versus Sergio. I mean, Sergio's had his 2 runner-up finishes, right? So 3-1 Sergio versus minus 125 Jon Rahm. Maybe just, maybe if you don't mind the juice, you want to take Rahm. I get it, but I just think Sergio's a little bit of a value there. But my lock, Pat, my lock prop of the week is plus 150 that we have a hole-in-one this week. The answer is yes. These are the par 3 yardages. 222. Okay, that's probably not happening, but it could. The 6th hole, 124 yards. That's your kind of par 3.
I love that kind of par 3.
The 12th hole, the watering hole, the party hole, the hole where it's all going to be crazy, where Chase Koepka made the electric hole-in-one last year. If Chase Koepka can make a hole-in-one, god dang anybody can make a hole-in-one out there this week. Is 151 yards. And the par 3 14th is 158 yards. So 3 of these par 3s, like I said, are wedges for most of the field, other than Dick Bland. Wedges. And if you think that Greg Norman is not going to go, hey, mate, the pins on the watering hole, put it in the bowl, mate. Lock it up in the bowl. Make all the balls roll through the bowl. Put the ball in the hole, right? He wants to see a hole-in-one. He wants to see they're going to put hole-in-one pins on the watering hole because they want people to go banana land crazy, right? Plus 150 on bet online for yes to a hole-in-one. I'm a believer. I know there's only 54 players. I know about 6 of them are awful, but I'll take my chances with 48 guys over 3 days and 3 wedgeable par 3s. Give me an ace, baby. Plus 150. Like it? Did I sell you on that?
Bloody oath, baby. Bloody oath.
Okay. There's number 4. We'll barely give him credit for that one because he just sat there and stared at it the whole time I was talking through that. What do you think bloody oath means?
Agreement.
I'll give you that one. It means
like agreement, like we're in agreement. Bloody oath.
It means that is certainly true, according to this website.
Okay. All right. I think I was close on that.
You got that one. Yeah, you got that one. You're 1 for 4.
Okay.
And you've worked in 4. So you've hit your minimum. Now you could quit there, or you could try to work in the other 4. Okay.
I'll do what I can.
All right. So I think that's it for LIV Adelaide. It sounds like I sold some people in the chat. Our boy Rick Golf thinks Carlos Ortiz should be a top 10. He's playing he says he's been playing okay. So ringing endorsement there from Rick Golf, playing okay. He is struggling a little bit to hit the fairways, which is a little unlike Carlos Ortiz. He's T9 in greens and reg and T14 in birdie average. That's about all he's got clicking for him in terms of the stats. Yeah, if you want to do Carlos Ortiz top 10, I ain't mad at it, but I think I'd rather have other. It depends on the number, but I think I'm out. Any other thoughts on LIV Golf Adelaide before we move on?
No, I think that's it. I was just.
Are you gonna watch it?
I think so. Carlos Ortiz, by the way, plus 200 top 10.
I'd much rather have Casey and Reed.
I think I would too. I think I will watch it. Although the NFL draft is going to be on about the same time, DB. So maybe I'll have two screens on.
Yeah, double screen it. Yeah.
I will say this. I think this is a perfect time to watch LIV if you've never seen it before. You know, you got a little NFL draft, that's fine. Obviously, NFL is king in the USA, but it's a good time, I think, at night to be able to settle in and watch it. And so yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll be watching. Okay, let's move on. Before we get to our NFL draft prop bets, let's talk Zurich outright bets real quick. Our thoughts on the Zurich. You still have to try to work in some Aussie phrases, even though I know we're moving out of Australia now. We do want to thank our friends at SoBet for rocking with us all the time. Our friends at SoBet help us out. Actually, let's do. Oh, damn it. This is not what I want. This is what I'm trying to click. SoBet, code TJ, or click the link in the description of the podcast or YouTube channel. If you're betting in any capacity on any sport and you want people who know what they're doing, who are transparent with their bets, who give you the reasons why to play a guy, why to fade a guy, who tell you how many units they put on each bet, who are transparent whether they win or lose, SoBet is the place for you. And if you use code TJ, you get your first month for $1 and every month after for only $9.95, 33 cents per day. That is dinkum. That's dinkum. You know what I mean? That's as fair as it gets in Aussie world. So, and SoBet is also a major supporter of the Tour Junkies. So we say this all the time, but if you want to support us, one of the best things you can do is to support our partners because that helps us. So help us, help you, help us, help them. SoBet. Click the link in the description. Code TJ. Do it. Thank you. The end. Zurich. Pat, thoughts on the Zurich overall? Why do we not like this event?
I mean, there's a lot of reasons not to like it. I mean, it is different, which is good. At least the tour is trying something a little bit different. I think from a DFS standpoint, it's just totally random. It's very hard to try and act like you're sharp when it comes to these teams. The teams change a lot. I mean, there's a few of these teams that like the Xander Cantlay and those kind of teams that are the favorites and whatever else. But to me, it's just it's a little corny. And I think it just makes it's so hard to really, if you're trying to win money, like what are we doing here? Like we don't have like it's alternate shot one day, it's best ball the other day. There's a lot of different factors that come into play there. So if betting on golf is random as hell, which it is, or I should say just extremely variable, it's even more variable this week. So that's what turns me off a little bit on it. I mean, it's just not it, but I'm okay with trying new things. That's what LIV's doing, right? So I'm okay with that part of it. But as far as just the betting on it, it's just not for me.
The variance is through the roof, man. I mean, you've got some power teams here this year, which is great. I mean, definitely good to see that, but you don't always know which of those are going to actually show up and try, or with the variance of best ball and alternate shot, how well things will go. And then you've got teams like Eric Cole and Russ Cochran. Russ Cochran, I don't know why he's even here. I don't think he's played a PGA Tour event in 15 years.
I feel like they always try to get one old guy.
Yeah, it's just there's some random variance to it. Well, I'm not going to say that. I'll leave that for the Discord. But it's just a great week to save your unit. Hold on to your units and just chill. Just chill. That's it. Just chill. Nick Hardy and Davis Riley won this thing last year, and I love Nick Hardy. Great dude. Friend of the Tour Junkies.
Mm-hmm.
What have they done since? Like, it's just so random. It is the most random thing. You've got some random ass teams that some have a history here, some don't. You don't know. I mean, I think some of these guys who their tour card depends on it are probably showing up and taking this thing a little more seriously. I think you'll see that in some of my picks. But at the same time, like Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele are clearly the two. Like, that's the most talented team here. Neither one of those guys can close the door, although they did do it here. And you wanted to count Patrick Cantlay's victory here at the Zurich as a reason he was better than Max Homa a couple weeks ago, and we argued on the Discord chat on Wednesday night for the Masters.
Well, I mean, I didn't. I think you're.
But I mean, it's just a lame event. But I did give a little nod to it, a little research to it, and I did. I do have some picks. So why don't you just run through? Let's just hit them with it quickly. Who are your outright bets for this week? Give me all of them.
I hate to bet any favorites this week. I really do.
Yeah.
But of the top people, I think Cowan and Kitayama are my favorites at 12-1. Then I'm going to go actually down to I like the Højgaards at 25-1. I like the twin connection.
Yeah.
I also like Joel Damon and Keith Mitchell. They are at 40-1.
Yep.
Keith Mitchell playing
not
pretty well like
here. Not with Sungjae.
Yeah, not with Sungjae. Yeah. Joel Damon's been playing a little bit better, had that top 20 at the well, you had the top 20 at the Players, man.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Then, you kind of try to look like who are the guys that I think can play well together. I think another couple here, Dietrich and McIntyre at 50-1. I think there's a lot of firepower with that group.
There is.
I mean, they could bomb it off the tee.
Yeah.
So I think that Dietrich and McIntyre. Oh, I thought you were.
Somebody's got to put the ball in the hole and make a putt, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were being a little bit sarcastic.
No.
All right, here's a team that I think is interesting. This is going to be my last one. Then I'm going to go to you. Ryan Fox and Garrett Higgo.
I think that's a terrible pick. And I saw people
Could not be two more different types of players.
well, they both bomb.
But I think
well,
I mean,
Higo
yeah.
bombs.
I don't know if Higo like bombs it like Ryan Fox bombs it.
Not many bomb it like Ryan Fox, but Higo bombs it.
Yeah. I think they could be a good connection. And they've won. You know, Higo's won on tour before. Fox has got some European tour wins.
Higo's average ball speed 181. He bombs it.
Well, that's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, I mean Ryan
Well,
Fox's
good. I'll
average
take
ball speed is 180 in the last 24 rounds.
I would have thought the Fox would have been more. Either way, I like the team.
I don't trust Higo at all. Still, like I've always said that.
You never trust Higo.
I know, and I don't.
You
I don't
never
think being with Ryan Fox helps is any better. Like you still gotta have two guys to win the dang thing. I did see somebody on Twitter say, how fun would it be to have Scotty just play by himself and see if he could beat the two men?
Yeah, he probably could.
He'd probably do better in alternate shot. Best ball, he'd have to be on his A game. But yeah, you've got best ball round 1, alternate shot round 2, then best ball, then alternate shot round 4. You have 30. Sorry, I should have said this in the beginning. 82-man teams. They started doing this in 2017. The top 33 teams are going to make the 36-hole cut. It's a par 72, around 7,400 yards at TPC, Louisiana, in Avondale, Louisiana, outside of New Orleans. Okay. I think I've got, this is what I got. The shortest number I got is Hoagie and Mav McNeely. I just think those two boys, they've been scoring this year. They have. Mav's improved. Hoagie's irons have been dialed. You don't have to be super long here. I mean, freaking Brian Stewart won the Zurich when it was a solo event one time. You don't have to be really long. So I like those two at 25-1. That's the shortest. Then I have a set of triplets here at 40-1. You already mentioned the first one. I agree totally with Joel Damon and Keith Mitchell. Keith's been playing great. Joel needs a good finish. Like Joel needs some points. Joel needs him.
They're good buddies too. I think that's a good combo.
I do too. Another sneaky good combo that people don't know about, but we know about because we've partied with these two. I spilled a drink multiple times on one of these guys.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going here.
Sepp Straka and Bryce Garnett. Don't look now, but Straka's kind of peacocking a little bit, starting to turn up. He's kind of playing well. Bryce Garnett just won the alternate field event, 40-1. It doesn't feel like the best value. Like I feel like that team is weaker overall than Mitchell and Damon, but I don't think it's far off. But my favorite team of this threesome here at 40-1 is Nick Taylor and Adam Hadwin. I love the two Canadians.
Yeah.
Nick Taylor's obviously had a tremendous year. Hadwin, like he's solid. He shows up. He can do his thing. All three of those at 40-1. The next one at 65-1 that I like is Taylor Moore and Matt Neesmith. Played in this thing last year together. Played really well. I think they work with some of the same coaching guys. Both of them flushers. Both flushers. I think they'll work nicely together. Taylor Moore playing really well. I got to go with a little bit of a homer pick here with my Champions Retreat. Shout out Champions Retreat connection in Luke List and Henrik Norlander. Norlander really needs a good finish. They're at 80-1. Norlander needs some points. Luke's obviously just fine. But both these guys play together in this every year and have had some decent finishes here. Norlander's had a couple decent finishes in weaker field events, alternate field events so far in 2024. And those guys play together at home all the time. Like great synergy there. I mean, don't forget, like some of the teams that have won here, if you look back or come close to winning here, including our friends Kevin Kisner and Scott Brown, did not necessarily come into this thing being like super favorites. I think team chemistry is definitely a thing. And that is another reason why the variance is off the charts, right? Because you just can't always know how that's going. But my last pick is I got to pick a set of twins too, and it ain't the Hoygards. It's the Cootie Bros, baby. Give me a little set of the Cooties at 200-1. A couple Cooties in there at 200. They both just finished, I think, top 15 in the Corrales event last week. Parker's had a good year. Pearson started to pop his head a little bit because old brother Parker, you know how the twin rivalry goes, Pat. You guys get feisty. So I'm going with the Cootie Bros at 200-1. I mean, if Davis Riley and Nick Hardy can beat Xander and Cantlay and a gaggle of other mids at this event, last year, then the Cootie Bros can win at 200-1.
They'll be apples, baby.
Oh God, I don't even think you didn't even say that right.
I didn't.
No, you didn't. It's
they'll be apples. Oh,
no,
apples shall be.
Yes, read it. Apples.
I don't know.
Apples should be.
I don't know if that's right though. That sounds like to me
right.
it could be. You could say it in two different ways.
No,
I need an Aussie. I need an Aussie to verify that.
Apples
I think you could
be,
say.
mate.
I could think you could say they'll be apples. They'll be apples.
Apples should be, mate. It means it'll be all right.
Okay, well, I got it close then.
It is close. You're like 1.5. Was that your fifth?
Rick Goff is asking about thoughts on his pick, Lauer and Wu. I don't mind Lauer and Wu. They play practice rounds all the time together.
They do.
So I think
Lauer competed at Corrales. I mean, T4 finished at Corrales. Wu's had, he's kind of bucked his head a little bit too. That would probably be, I like that pick. I like that one. All right. Any other thoughts on the Zurich?
No.
All right. Let's wrap this up. Pat, the NFL draft starts Thursday night. I know you're excited. You've got some prop bets. I don't really know what's going on. I've not really looked at it. I haven't had time.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to know what you're looking like. Hit me, and if you have, if you have questions, like tell me, hit me with it.
I got a few here that I like, and I'm trying not to make all these really like homer plays, but I just like this one. So I'm going to start with actually I'm going to start with a non-homer play. I'm going to start with Troy Fautanu. He's a Washington lineman. Now, this is a long shot play, DB.
Okay.
To be drafted in the top 10 plus 550 on FanDuel. This is a guy who's gaining steam. All right.
I think your best Mel Kiper impression here.
This is a guy that's gaining steam. He's one of the most athletic guys in the draft. He's not necessarily that tall, but I think he's going to be a great, starter in the league immediately. And that's going to be Troy Fautanu at plus 550 on FanDuel. I think he could easily get drafted by the Bears in the first round at pick number 9. I think it's pick number 9. That sounds nothing like, but no. I do think there's a chance that he gets drafted in the first round, and I do think plus 550 could be a good bet. Again, that's a long shot, but we like long shots when it comes to the Tour Junkies. Here's my more favorite though. Brock Bowers is at plus 120 to be drafted in the top 10. The Jets are just absolutely dying, I think, to draft him in the 10 slot.
Oh yeah, they're horny. They're horny for Brock.
I think there's a chance though that he could be, if there's no trades or anything like that, you could even see the Chargers draft him earlier. So I think Brock Bowers at plus 120. When you go to just like pick number 10, he's also the favorite by a mile to be picked by the Jets there. So plus 120, Brock Bowers, I like. Couple more, DB.
Mm-hmm.
First, I got to ask you this because I sent you one that I think I wanted you to look at because you're good at picking the Gatorade color. Mm-hmm. Now, do you want to save that to the end, or do you want to go ahead and
let's save it to the end because it's not the Gatorade color, but it's like it. Let's save it to the end because it is a lock. I've got an inside source, and it's a lock.
Okay, well, we'll save that. I've got a couple more then. Spencer Rattler to go in the second round at plus 260. Spencer Rattler, man, is he played at Oklahoma, played at South Carolina, which is where he was most recently. I think he's a really good quarterback. I think behind a good line, better players, he's getting a lot of steam also in the draft. I think Spencer Rattler to go in the second round at plus 260 is a pretty good bet. One more or two more. A.D. Mitchell, DB. A.D. Mitchell, who actually played for the Dogs.
Left the Dogs.
And then went over to Texas. I think he is super, super talented. Xavier Worthy, who's another receiver, I believe a Texas guy who was, speedy as hell in the combine. A lot of people are kind of putting him ahead of A.D. Mitchell, but I think A.D. Mitchell could actually go before him. But under 27.5. So if he's picked as the 27th pick or better in the draft is plus 130. So I like under 27.5 on AD Mitchell. So he gets picked before number 28. And the final one I've got is that the Broncos draft either Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. at plus 150. Now, I do think there's a chance with their first pick, they're not going to go with one of those two, but I could see them possibly trading up into the first round to take one of those two players. So they got to have their quarterback. That is their biggest need is a quarterback for the Broncos.
If you take Bo Nix in the first round, you just deserve to rot.
This is why it's an either or, DB. It's an
I know.
Penix or Bo Nix.
Great breakdown.
Right, so that is all I got.
Great breakdown there, Pat Perry. I've got a few picks. I'm going to save my lock for last. I'm looking at some crazy props here on Bet Online. Who will the number 1 overall pick hug first? This is an easy one. This is where you ride the favorite. You don't get cute here. This is mom plus 125 all day long. Dad is plus 150. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. For a quarter of a point higher to give dad? Hell no. Like mom is first. Girlfriend at 6-1. I could see happening. Actually, I would put the girlfriend over the dad, honestly, because likely he's sitting between mom and girlfriend. Dad's over here being dad. So the girlfriend, I think, should be actually shorter than dad. So you might, if you see some value on girlfriend, I get that. Agent at 10-1 is just a throwaway. It's mom at plus 125. That is the pick. I don't understand this. Maybe you can if you've watched more draft coverage, but there's an over-under in the number of dogs and cats shown during round 1 on Bet Online.
I was very curious about this one. I did look at it, and I don't understand what it's about. I mean, does that mean like if they show like the Jaguars or the Bengals, those count as the cats, like their logos, or is it like an actual cat or an actual dog?
Says must be
the logos count.
It must be clearly shown during official broadcast. Commercials do not count. That's all it says. I don't know. We'd have to get the book rules on that. Surely the logos don't count. I mean, there's a lot of.
But why would you see a real cat or a real dog?
It's a bear.
Oh, you mean cat? like the player is going to have a dog with them or something? Or a cat?
Think it's more about but don't most of the round 1 guys now come to the event? They're not sitting at home on their couch like they used to. I don't know.
Yeah, that one confused me. I didn't know if it count like a logo counted, like a Bengal.
Surely it does.
Jaguar.
There's more cat logos in round 1, just logos. So you would hammer the over, which is over 1. That must not count. I think the lock there is the under on 2 dogs at minus 120, personally. I also think you take I'm a big unders guy here. I think you take the unders in trades in round 1. They've got the 5.5 number as the over under. The under is the heavy or the big underdog here, plus 110. They've got 6 trades basically happening at minus 150. It's usually under. I think it's under. I think that's an under. You sleep easy on the under, plus 110. Bing bong, done. That's it for me. And then I have my lock. You ready for my lock?
Yeah. Tell me what that rat bag lock of the day is.
Oh, well, he's a that what?
That rat bag lock of the day.
No. Had you said that, oh yeah, he's a freaking gala. He's a gala, tell you that much, mate. Then I would have said, oh, that's a rat bag based on what he really is, mate. If you want to be dinkum, that's a rat bag. Meaning gala means idiot. You haven't used that one. Gala means idiot.
I thought I haven't used that one.
You tried to, but you just said it out of you just said it out of thin air. Gala means idiot. Rat bag means mild insult. So had you said,
I was thinking trying to get outside the box, like I don't know.
No. Had you said he was a gala, then I could have said, oh, that's kind of a rat bag thing. That's a dinkum, fair. Rat bag. We could have done 2 for 1 there. But anyway, good try. Appreciate your efforts.
They got all these slang words in Australia.
We're talking about Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall projected pick, the consensus, I believe, number 1 overall pick going to the Bears. And Caleb
I don't
Williams,
even think it's
and Caleb Williams is a weirdo. Like, I'm sorry, but like, he's a freaking weirdo. The nails.
He
And all that
likes golf though. He's a big golf fan.
Yeah, well, all right. He's apparently can bet on his nail color, the primary nail color of Caleb Williams nail polish. You can bet on Bet Online, and I am going to give you a 5-1. 5-1. It will be white. That is the third favorite. Black at +150 is the favorite. Orange at 2-1 is the second favorite. White at 5-1, pink at 6-1, blue at 7-1, and green 10-1. Is those are your options. The primary color of Caleb Williams nail polish will be white, and I know this because I have a source. I have a source, and we've talked about this, and we feel quite confident that white 5-1. Now, I'm not saying to bet your life savings on this. I'm not saying that you should go all in on this, but I'm just saying that it's still a gamble. It's 5-1. Do I think we're smarter than the books? I don't know. I don't think we're that much smarter. I think 5-1. I think white should be the 2-1. I think white should be 2-1. So bet it like it's 2-1. That's what I'll say. It's going to be white.
Lock it in.
Shout out. Boy, we've covered a lot. LIV Golf Adelaide, the Zurich Classic, NFL props, Caleb Williams weird nail color. Awesome. Great stuff, Pat. Good job on you. I think you did a great job on your first LIV show. You should come back, do it some more. Thanks, everybody, watching. Like, subscribe, comment on the YouTube channel. Click the links in the description to support Swannies, Bet the Number, as well as SoBet. Let's have a great week. Been over your bookies. See ya. Out.